Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Young here, and today I'm back in our Fortnite video. Today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my top 5 building tips and techniques that you guys can use to practice to get a lot better, a lot faster, and also a lot smoother at this game when it comes to building. So if you guys are looking for some really good tips to improve at building, this is definitely going to be the video for you. So definitely stay to the end of the video because I have some very good techniques to practice to help you improve and get a lot faster at this game. And real quick, before we get into the video, I'm going to be giving away 2,000 V-Bucks every single week. So if you guys want to win some free V-Bucks and if you guys want a chance to enter, all you guys need to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you guys do turn on those post notifications so you guys get notified for every single new video. And lastly, comment down below either your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account, and you guys will be automatically entered into the next giveaway. And also, if you guys like to support me in the item shop, all you guys have to do is go down to the bottom, click on support a creator, type in my code. My creator code is Young Humor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I wanted to give you guys 5 new building tips and techniques that you guys can practice to help you guys improve and get a lot faster and also a lot smoother at this game when it comes to building. And so some of these building techniques will be very easy to do and some will be a little bit more challenging. But anyways, let's get right into the first building tip or building technique you guys can practice to help you guys get a lot better and a lot smoother at this game. So here's the first one. This one's very simple and not too difficult to do. So for this one, all you want to do is you want to edit both of the squares on either the right side or the left side of the floor and also the cone. And the reason why you want to practice this building technique is because with this building technique, this is probably one of, I would say, when it comes to high ground retakes, this one you probably use the most out of any of them. And here's just a quick few examples of high ground retakes you would do off of this build or edit. So this is why this is just super important to practice and to really have down if you really are looking into improving at free building and you are really looking to improve at different high ground retakes that you can do. So here are just basically a couple of examples that you can potentially use off of this build that you want. So here are just 4 examples that I gave. And so like I said, I really like this one because you really do use this building technique a ton when it comes to going into other free builds. So this one definitely is the easiest one on this list, and it's very, very essential for a lot of reasons. So if you you don't have this mastered down, if you really are struggling with your double edits, this is probably a very good way to start. And so here in this second one, this is a very good high ground retake that I've been doing quite a bit in pubs. It's been very effective for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons being is after you come off this high ground retake, there is a lot of protection with the builds, meaning that you're not going to get shot out very easily. So when you are doing this, it is very useful for a lot of reasons because, if someone, a lot of these little Timmies whip out their drum guns, their mini guns, their mythic scars, whatever OP weapons that they have, they're not able to build or break the build as quickly. Of course, if you're spamming with the minigun, you probably should just sit on low ground. You're probably not going to have any sort of fun trying to go for high ground, but this high ground retake is very good for a lot of reasons. And with all the builds and techniques in this game, I do recommend practicing on both sides. So coming off the left side and also coming off the right side, I think that is a very good way to practice and improve at this game. So making sure you do practice on both sides can be very good for improving your free building and also building in general when it comes to games, because sometimes you might have to go off that offside, and if you haven't practiced it, you might be messing it up a little bit more than you would normally want to in an actual game. So as far as doing this, this is pretty simple. I just have a slow motion for you guys to see it if it looked a little bit confusing, but it's pretty simple. You just ramp up, you place the cone, then after you place the cone, then you can ramp. Then you kind of do like a 180 and then you do a double ramp floor and wall, and then from there, of course, you can just maybe go for a shot on the other player or whatever the case may be. You can continue to ramp up, but this is essentially the high ground retake that I really like, and I'd use this quite a bit in games because it builds quite a bit around me, especially now with a lot of people having drum guns and scars, stuff like that, really OP weapons that destroy builds very fast. Being able to build with a lot of protection around your builds is very crucial for making sure that you don't get shot out when you are building against other players. And so moving on to the third building technique that you guys should practice. This one is definitely the most difficult in this video, and this one's pretty difficult to pull off very consistently. But the reason why this one is super important is if you play something like duos and or squads, and say you're ramping up for high ground and you're getting shot at from like 3 or 4 different directions, And this is something you wouldn't do every single fight when you're ramping up, but the reason why this is very, very good is because when you're ramping up, you're placing 2 cones, which protects you from getting shot from above. You're placing 2 walls in front of you, so it protects you from getting shot in front of you as well. So if someone's above you and in front of you, maybe on low ground, it protects you from getting shot out. And also, since you are building 2 ramps, or you're building 2 of everything, if someone wants to shoot you out, it's going to take a little bit more time because they have to shoot out both walls and both ramps to fully shoot you out. So this technique is something you would probably pull off is if you're about to reach the other player, but you know you're getting spammed from like 3 or 4 different directions, and you need to build as much as possible and as quickly as possible before you're able to connect your builds to theirs, or you're able to get high ground. This could be a very, very good technique. So having this down or just having this in your inventory can actually be a very useful technique to have. And also at the very least, it is going to help you build a lot faster, a lot smoother at this game, because this one is very difficult because you really have to be decent enough at building to place all these ramps, these floors, and also, I mean, just placing everything at the same time can be pretty difficult to do, especially when you are running in a continuous movement. So this one is definitely the hardest one in this list, but can be very useful in a lot of situations. But like I said, at the very least, it will help you become a lot better and a lot faster builder if you are able to master something as difficult as this. And so moving on to the next building technique I have in this video, and this one is when you come to your double 90s. And so when you're doing double 90s, which is probably, it's the most common high ground retake in this game, and just about everyone in the game has it. Even people on mobile can do double 90s. It's not too difficult, but there is something to keep in mind when you are doing 90s against other players. Traditionally, people do 90s like this. They just go from the left to right when they are doing 90s, and this is very quick, very fast, and you're able to get high ground very quickly against other players. But sometimes when you are ramping against other players and they're at a different angle, so if they're from this angle, which I'm going to show you here, so say you're ramping up, maybe you're on the other build that's in front of me, and so the other player that's shooting at you is exactly where I'm standing. So from this angle, I have a wide open shot on any player who's on this ramp. So if you're the player on this ramp, but you still want to do 90s to get up on high ground, you don't want to do the traditional left to right 90s. Instead, what you want to do is you want to come from the right side first. So what you'd want to do, instead of doing the movement here, you go from left to right, which is going to leave you pretty much completely exposed. You want to ramp up from the left to the right. So if the other player tries to get a shot on you, what's going to happen is they're going to shoot that wall every time. So that's why practicing your 90s doing like this can be very useful in a lot of ways. Of course, this is very situational. If someone's coming from that left side, being able to get that wall up first will protect you from getting shot. So practicing 90s like this can be a very useful strategy, especially in those situations where other players might have high ground on you, and you're just trying to ramp up as quickly and as most effectively as possible without taking, a crazy amount of damage. I've had so many times where I've gone for high ground retakes and I've gotten left with high ground, but at like 20 HP because the guy hits me with a crazy 180 pump shot. So you always want to make sure you're protecting your sides when you are going for high ground retakes and also building in this game. And moving on to the last one I'm going to show you guys in this video, and with this retake and with this building technique, this one is something that I have seen a lot of success with when I'm playing in comp, when I'm especially playing in pubs, and really any sort of playlist. To be honest with you guys, I found this very, very effective, for the reason being, this is something you'd want to do if the other player is maybe, I would say, 2 or 3 stories above you. The 90s, usually when someone's maybe like 1 story above you, but with these are very good for getting high ground, or at least ramping up as high as possible if the other player is maybe 2 or 3 stories just directly above you. So you're trying to ramp up as fast as possible, at the same time not getting just beamed down from above on the other player. So building something like this can be a very good retake and a very good technique to learn and really practice and have down. Luckily, this isn't really too difficult to do. When you are doing this, you just have to make sure that you're getting up the ramps on the side before you place the cone. Otherwise, the cone is going to place right in front of you and kind of block you off. So as long as you get the ramps up first, this technique is pretty simple and pretty easy to do. There really isn't too much complication with this. And so here it is in slow motion if you guys can get a better grasp of what I'm saying here. Like I said, you have to get your ramps up on that side first before you place the cone. Otherwise, the cone is going to place right in front of you. It's going to block you off and slow down your momentum. But with this one, I feel like this was one of the easier ones to do. It's not too difficult. It just takes a little bit of practice if you are new to this. And with that being said, these are going to be the 5 building retakes I would practice in Fortnite, especially in this season, just based on the way everything is. I think these are some very good retakes and also some very good techniques to practice and really have down. But with that being said, that's a wrap up for this video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys do drop a like. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my post notifications so you guys get notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.